Woody. So, I just saw something really interesting. Driving on the 80 eastbound in Iowa right now. There's a semi-truck in the grass area, in the median, wrecked, and the cab was gone. Like, yeah, I mean, cab was gone. Everybody's like, what happened to the rest of that cab? That was crazy. So I don't know what they did, but anyway, sitting here thinking, you know, I know I've been having some issues and whatnot with communication, dispatch, and all that stuff, but you know, I was just thinking, with all that stuff aside, I don't know if I would want to do anything else as far as a career. I mean, there's other stuff that I probably would enjoy, but you know, I like it out here on the road. It's just all that in-between stuff that I don't like. You know, the waiting to hurry up and wait, and all that stuff. So it's just something I'm gonna have to get used to, or something. I don't know. Figure it out. But yeah, I like this job. Now, I am still looking for something, you know, local. Sorry if you're hearing the music there. I didn't turn it down all the way. But I'm still looking for something that will, you know, get me home more often, and possibly even something local where I'm home every day. So those options are out there too, and I've got a couple of companies that I'm talking to right now that are trying to work something out. One company won't talk to me while I'm driving, even though I'm using a hands-free set. Safety, you know, which I guess is understandable, but the problem is I'm driving all day, and by the time I get stopped for the night, they're closed and I can't talk to them, and then I wake up in the morning and I go, and so that's kind of frustrating. And then I got another company that is really small, and you know, I thought he forgot about me, and then he texted me a couple days ago, and so that line of communication is still open. We're just trying to work something out, and I got to do some research. So if there's anybody out there that's watching that has ever worked for a company where you get paid percentage of the load, what's a good percentage to get paid? Because I don't know anything about that, and this guy's offering 20% of the load, and it's flatbedding, so I don't know what a good wage is, you know, a good salary, whatever. Man, I love these things. Good and plenty. Oh, love them. Sure, bud. But yeah, so what's a good wage? I've heard, you know, 30%, 34, 37, so 20% seems kind of low. So, but I don't know, it'll get me home more often. But the thing that sucks about that is you're only home for your 34-hour reset. You're gone a week, and then you're home for like a day and a half, which is really a day because you're sleeping, you know, at least 16 hours of those 34. So anyway, yeah. But I'm working on that. Other avenues, other companies. But I do enjoy this job. I've had other jobs in the past where, you know, I'm a driver in one form or another, and those were always the jobs that I enjoyed the most. I stuck with them the longest, and I did well, you know. And I mean, one of them, it was a maintenance job, and you know, the driving aspect of it came from, you know, I would drive from one location to another fixing stuff. The job was pretty cool. It wasn't mundane. It wasn't always repetitive. Sometimes you would get, you know, repetition. But you know, and then I had a lot of freedom. You know, I would be driving around town, and sometimes I'd drive out of town for another location. But you know, I liked it. I just dropped one of my good planes. But I liked it. I ended up leaving that job for another job that paid more. And man, you work your ass off though. I went from that job to a solar panel installer. And man, I gained a lot of respect for those guys. Out in Las Vegas, it's, you know, say it's 105 degrees outside. You're looking at about 140, 150 degrees up on the roof. Because you got those, the roof tiles, and the sun beats down on that and reflects back up on you. You know, I got a few injuries just within a 3-month period, and that didn't work out for me. I had heat stroke, and then I don't think I fully recovered from that. Got back on the roof, I cramped up, I couldn't even get off the roof because my body wouldn't work. Messed up my wrist. So you definitely, that was a job you have to be in shape for, and a lot of hydration. But those were good, hard-working, efficient people. Because they don't want to be up on that roof any longer than they have to, so they get up there, they get it installed, they get down. So, yeah, gained a lot of respect for those guys. And I've done a lot of outdoors work, construction, things like that, out in the heat. And yeah, that anything where you're on the roof for more than a couple hours a day, it's grueling. So I did that. But yeah, I just like driving. When I was a kid, you know, I had a car, I would just drive. No destination, just see where this road takes us and take the next one. A lot of exploring. That was kind of my my serenity. So I do enjoy this part of the job. I'm just driving. We got scenery. And I like it. What I don't like is how many truck drivers there are these days versus how many truck stops we have. There's a lot of truck drivers now, and it's hard to find a good truck stop, especially if you're driving late, you know, because you get about anywhere in the country, about 6-7 o'clock local time, PM, those truck stops start filling up fast because everybody's, you know, getting off the road. So most of the time, if you get to one before 4 o'clock, you don't have too much of a problem finding parking. But depending on where you are, because there's some truck stops that are just full all the time, and you just gotta get in there and hope that there's a spot. But so that's kind of the issue I'm gonna have today. I gotta drop this load off. I only started my day with 6.5 hours on my clock. Gotta drive 4.5, and then I looked. There's like 3 truck stops just a little north of where I'm dropping off this load, and one of them it's got, I think, like 350 parking spots, so I shouldn't have a problem there. The one across the street from it has got like 30 parking spots, and there's another one that's got something like 30, 20, something like that. Those I'm not even going to try unless I have to. So yeah, I think we need more truck stops. But a few weeks ago I did stay at one. Like they weren't even open a week yet. You know, it still smelled new in there. I mean, they still had some, you know, like cones and stuff set up that they hadn't taken away yet. I mean, that place was brand new. It was small, but nobody knew about it, so I had no problem getting in there. But that place did fill up fast. I mean, when people figure out that there's a truck stop in the area that wasn't there before, they hit it up. So yeah, I think we need more truck stops, especially you know, in the little in-between towns, and like places like Washington and California, where you get a lot of transportation through there, but there's not a whole lot of truck stops. It's like they're not trucker friendly. You know, you have to accommodate these truckers. You want your product, but you don't give your drivers anywhere to stay. And then some of the places that you do stay, it's like $25 to park. That doesn't make sense to me, you know. And a lot of those places, if you end up spending $25, then the parking fee is waived. But sometimes I don't want to spend $25 to stay somewhere, you know. I just want a shower and some food. But it is what it is. So last time I did that, it was like $20 parking, and I bought a something for my phone. It was $21. So I was like, well, get this, and so yeah. And it kind of works. I need to take it back if I can find my receipt. But anyway, just stuff like that. Yeah, and that's why you have a lot of truck drivers that you see on the on-ramps and off-ramps. They'll be parked along the side there because there's nowhere else to park. I almost had to do that once. I was at a truck stop. It was full, and I just parked along the curb where there were other drivers, and then I get a knock on my door. I only had like half an hour left on my clock, and he told me I had to move. There was no parking, so I had to drive. It was like a 20-minute drive to a rest stop, and the rest stop was full. So I just waited for somebody to move. And that's another thing too. Those truck stops, or the rest stops. You got your truck parking. It says truck and trailer parking. And I pull into this rest stop, and I see a space, and I go to pull into that space, and there's a freaking pickup truck sitting in it. So, to all you four-wheeler drivers, don't park in truck parking. We don't have the luxury of just finding a parking spot. You know, we have 65-foot long vehicles that they're not very maneuverable, and parking is not easy to find. I mean, that pickup truck, if the other car spots were full, that pickup truck could have just, pull forward and find a spot along the curb or something. Go use the bathroom and get out. Those truck drivers. So what I had to do in that situation is I had to pull out of there, go down to the next exit, turn around, get off at the next exit, turn back around, and by that time, that truck, that pickup truck was gone. So I got my spot, but I wasted another 20 minutes to do that. So be mindful of where you're parking. You know, even if it's for 5 minutes, that 5 minutes might be the difference between a truck driver violating his hours of service or not. So keep that in mind. But anyway, I got about another 2.5 hours to get to my destination, and should be just a drop and hook. We'll see how that works out. So anyway, reach for the sky. Thank a trucker.